Ambassador Nadeem Riaz, President of the Institute of Regional Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to begin by thanking the organizers of this event. The initiative, in my view, is not only apt, it is timely. It is apt because it reflects the growing concern on the developments that are taking place in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The President Azad Jammu and Kashmir just mentioned the OIC Council of Foreign Ministers in Niamey and how everyone has been very generous in recognizing my contribution, but I would like to add the contribution you made, sir, and your delegation made, and the OIC Secretariat, the contribution of the different officers of the Foreign Office who are never on stage, but backstage. They are burning the midnight oil and, fighting on every word, every sentence, is being deliberated, argued, and fought for. It's not easy. You've been a multilateralist yourself, and you know how difficult it is to add or delete a word or a sentence, or to get some mention in a declaration like the Niamey Declaration. So their contribution must be recognized. I think the unanimous resolution that was finally adopted at the conference in Niger is a reiteration of a position that the OIC had traditionally taken. But it is not just a reiteration, it's a plus on that. I would call it a plus simply for the reason that the developments that took place post 5th of August 2019 were added on. In the last CFM, which took place in Abu Dhabi, 5th of August 2019 had not taken place. So these new developments had not surfaced, and Pakistan has very strong views on these new developments. Kashmiris have very strong views, not just on our side, across the line of control. And you've seen that across the political divide, the measures of 5th August 2019 have been rejected. Parties that were sympathetic to the Delhi Sarkar have risen against the measures undertaken by the Nexus in India. So this resolution, I think, is an important reiteration and a step ahead. I call it timely because tomorrow the world will be observing the Human Rights Day. And today, if there is a place where human rights abuse is taking place, it is Jammu and Kashmir. So it is very important to draw the attention of the international community on what's going on. One understands the blackout, the gag, everything is there. Yet we have to find new ways of reaching out. And I must recognize some of those that have been pointed out by you, sir, Mr. President. You said that parliaments have a role to galvanize. I couldn't agree more. You talked about a global network. What could be better than the global parliamentary network that we are trying to establish? And Raja Rajawat Sahab, you have done wonders in propagating that effort. You touched upon the increasing awareness in different parliaments vis-a-vis Kashmir. You touched on the role that the House of Commons has played, House of Lords has played, and I recall clearly in February 2019 when we were both there and we spoke to members of Parliament across the party divide, Conservative, Labour, Democrats, they were all there. And in the House of Commons, the voice for Kashmir and Kashmiris was loud and clear, and it resonated. I also agree with you that in democracies, political parties have an important role to play. They are policy makers. Parliamentarians are policy makers. And if you can succeed in catching their attention, you can influence policy making. They are opinion makers. They're important people. And by the way, I invited today to keep this issue bipartisan. I invited members of the opposition and requested them to be here, for this event. Whether it's PPP or PMLN, on the issue of Kashmir, we are one. I only hope, and I wished, they could have been here, and their contributions have been valuable, and they will remain valuable. And we will always seek their attention on this issue, which is of international significance and importance. But political parties are important, and you mentioned how parliamentarians lobbied, and in the Labour Party conference, they succeeded in getting a resolution on Jammu and Kashmir passed. Now that is, it's a part of record, and posterity will benefit from that. What was said, by whom, when, where, every word counts and has to be taken note of. You mentioned, Mr. President, the importance, the significance of the diaspora. 10 million strong. And I must recognize that post 5th August 2019, Pakistani diaspora has been phenomenal. There is no capital in the world that they did not come out and protested on what had happened. Whether it was Berlin or Barcelona, Washington.
वज़ीर ख़ारजा शाह महमूद कुरैशी का बैनुल-अक़वामी
important to be connected to media.